Hello, and this is Reality with D. How you doing? This is gonna be some pipe and high tea, real quick. Some pipe and high tea quickies, if you want to call it that. We're gonna get right on into it. So the first thing, let's talk about the gift that keeps on giving. That used to be Love and Marriage Huntsville, but now it's Real Housewives of Atlanta. Let's talk about Angela. I'm just gonna sum it up real quick and to the point on Angela. I'm gonna ride with Angela till the wheels fall off. Because them little messy gays, I really believe that they are the ones who are lying. I think, what does Angela have to gain? They was like, what does PHAEDRA have to gain? A lot, because she's just as messy as the gays, and it's the godfather of Atlanta, and I believe what they said originally. So I'm riding with Angela on this one, and that's that, and that's the bottom line on that. Now let's keep on going with the hot topics. Next thing on the agenda, let's talk. Do I want to talk about LATRICE, or do I want to talk about? Well, let's get into the Love and Marriage Huntsville universe. Since Carlos wants to talk about the Real Housewives of whatever universe, let's get into his universe. Y'all want to start calling the Love and Marriage Huntsville franchises the universe? Now, what I really want to know is, how come Reality with the King was canceled? Because, I mean, honestly, I did like the show. I didn't mind that he was copycatting Andy, because Andy copycatted somebody. Or did he? Maybe Andy shit was always original. He came up with his own stuff. But however it goes, I think I could have enjoyed Carlos interviewing his folks after the show. But anyway. Here's the tee in the Love and Marriage Huntsville's Carlos Kingdom Reign universe. So, the word on the street, and I got this from Military and the Copyright Act of 1976, says that I could use this information for commentative purposes. But we're going to get right on into it. So, allegedly. Now, y'all know how I feel about those girls from the Bell Collective, right? So, LATRICE, again, has had some issues with Cliff. Now, remember, back in the day, Cliff, okay, so it was a party, and I want to say the party was So Gucci's party, and we saw, like, what appeared to be fingerprints on LATRICE's arm. So let's go back. Okay, so we know he called her BITCH at the restaurant. I think it was M-Bar. So we know he did that. Child, we gonna talk Mississippi news, honey. Again, I used to live in Jackson, so I can give you the 411 on that. So they opened up a restaurant called Taste Bar and Grill. Now, allegedly, just a couple months ago, the server or the bartender said that Cliff hit her in the chest. So you know how jealous LATRICE is of Cliff, right? So allegedly he was trying to holler at some lady in a drunken state. Now remember, allegedly he always goes upstairs, comes back down in a different mood, and when he's in a different mood, he's drunk. Now remember, the reason why Big Willie Style felt like Cliff started all that shit on the final episode was because, he was drunk. And I believe that Cliff does turn into a little menace when he's drunk. Or should I say a big menace? Or should I say somebody like a puppy? So, allegedly, right there in the restaurant, he knocked the shit out of her. Knocked her down. And that was the end of that, and he's supposed to be in jail as we speak. Now, knowing her, she went right in there and picked his ass up. I don't know what it is about this man. He can't talk. Well, let me take that back. He does have a point. So that might encourage a woman to stay with someone putting his hands on you, but child, split those assets and get out while you can. Because I've told a story about my client. Now, what was I saying before I was so brutally interrupted? If I can remember. Okay, so I want to say I was saying something about Cliff. Okay, well, my kid's child, and I am going through the menopause, so there'd be a pause on your damn brain. If you don't finish what you're saying, you'll definitely lose the brain cells to remember what you were saying. But I can go back and say this right here, in my opinion. Oh, I know what it was. I want to remind you of the story of one of my clients who still hurts me to this day. We couldn't save her. I told the story about how, she would get away from him, then she would go back. He, in the past, before he took her off the earth permanently, he had stabbed her like 13 times. She was diabetic, she was anemic, all the things, and, we almost lost her then. So she went with someone else. She started dating somebody else. And then she ended up marrying him. Moved away from her family, like they like to isolate you. And then he took her off the earth, this time permanently. And y'all, in Mississippi history, for a DV case, the sheriff in that town said that was the most gruesome murder that he had ever seen in his life, his whole years of being a sheriff. Okay? So, to those women who think that it's just a little lick here and there, and he just punched me in the eye here and there, or he just punched me in the shoulder here and there, one day it could turn into your life ending. Okay? Don't ever think that that's not a possibility, because they lose control of themselves. And Cliff drinks a lot, Mr. Mumbles. Mr. What did I call him? Tweety Bird? Well, I'll call him Woodstock too. Shit. Y'all let that look. Then he is light-skinned with light eyes, and that is still an appealing thing for women of a certain stature in America. Child, you better shit, girl. Like I said, I know for a fact that LATRICE had those stores before she married him. He might have been financing her in the background, but she was the foreground. But as Angela Best said, I was the background to your foreground. Well, I don't know. She holding on to him for something. And, it's time for her girls to give her a wake-up call on that show and just be real with it. First of all, I hope they address the fact that he punched the bartender in the chest allegedly. And for him to be so handsy with her, she's very confrontational with him. So, I don't know. It's just, I just wish that element of the show could be hidden, because it's not. And she is not going to be able to hide it, because she is, Bell Collective is more so, according to Mr. Carlos, he'd rather have his shows collective centered around the family, per se. And he is her family, but how much are you willing to take from this man? And then the friends of hers that are on the show, they don't want to say anything. Then that one time that Akeisha said something, she turned everything around on Akeisha and then began to attack Akeisha and her family, in my opinion, from what I saw at that opening of Taste. And, you know, it just goes down at Taste, don't it? Well, you know, that's all I have to say about that. I hate to see anyone get mistreated. I'm not a fan of LATRICE by any means, but at the same time, I, again, don't want to see her hurt either, or taken off the earth. All those brothers and stuff she have, and they now want to beat his ass. The fuck? I know you fucking lying. But sometimes, in DB cases, they like, well, she not going anywhere, so why am I getting my ass beat again? So, moving right along, and more Real Housewives of Atlanta / Escape news, because Escape had a show. Let's talk about Kandi and Shemea and Tiny liking the post that people are making in support of Diddy. So the ringtail leader is Tiny, and she made the post about, she liked the post about saying that something about him being freaky. And so women are going, we trying to send people to jail for being freaky. We are. When your freakiness carry over and then you hurting somebody. Yeah. Girl, what the hell are you thinking? And then Kandi. Wow. Not my Kandi girl. Over there liking other Diddy posts that Kim Porter's so-called best friend posting about. Isn't that the same girl who allegedly believes that Diddy had something to do with Kim's removal from the earth? So you telling me that it's God's will that this man is out here possibly taking people out and for sure abusing them, and now being convicted of prostitution? Child, that's God's will. But my understanding that even though God protected the prostitute down there on his when he said cast the first stone, he might have protected her, but my understanding is it's still a sin. All that fornication and what's not. And then you bringing other people into your marriage, Tiny, allegedly, and Kandi too. Oh, and you likes to have fun with the threesomes and the what's nots and going on and the extra kinky stuff. But just remember, while y'all talking about God's will, it's still a sin to do these things, because you still are committing adultery, whether you agree to it or not. And that, my friend, is indeed a sin. So we are not moving according to God's will anyway. And Puppy damn sure ain't moving according to God's will while he on his damn motherfucking rotten ass knees thanking the good Lord for his bad behavior. Now, as I speak on the weirdo who is Tiny Tamika Harris, did you know that I liked Tiny before this, when people would call her Miss Piggy and call her a Muppet also? I used to ride till the wheels fell off for Tiny. I used to be like, y'all back up off Tiny. She's a good person. And then when this Sabrina Peterson stuff came out, and I was like, and they possibly was on the hook for ex trafficking, I was like, them too? And you know what? When it comes to Tiny Tamika Harris and T.I. Tip Harris, I believe everywhere, and I'm going to tell you why. Because this man has fucked with her self-esteem to the point where she would do just about anything to lay up under his ass and stay with him. So whatever freaky, sneaky, licky thing that he comes to do, in my opinion, she will do it. Now, I don't think Kandi is that desperate to keep Todd. But because Kandi gives me undertones of very, 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 very strong bull dagger vibes. But or should I say stub? I mean, bull dagger may be offensive, so I don't want to offend my girls. I don't know. Hell, I'm old. It might be that's what we used to call the studs back then in my day. So that might be politically incorrect. So let me X that out. But what I'm saying is, she gives me aggressive. And she gives me that it's her who's more so into bringing people in than Ty. Because Ty seems like he just is happy being a sugar baby over there with Kandi. Now, I don't like to call Ty the sugar baby. I'm going to take that back as well because I really think that ooh, child. I really think that Ty contributes to their household in many different ways, especially with the producing, because I do believe that's more his shtick than hers. So, Kandi tread lightly. I mean, it's one thing Tamar Muppet said, but that was true. Your image is very squeaky clean, and it's getting sullied by these, because people are questioning, was the dungeon true? You did make up a portion pretty quickly, so I would tread lightly in these cases. Now, right now, you're still my girl. I hope I don't hear anything that you taking prostitutes across the state lines like your friend over there. Because that girl has come back out and tried to get that lawsuit popping again. Now, as far as Shemea goes, Shemea. You also was involved in the dungeon. They all sleep together according to, you remember the little whole in and out thing that PHAEDRA did? If I were you, Shemea, I would tread lightly as well, because you have not made yourself look in a good light on the show either. But you do have the reunion to redeem yourself. So for me, I am going to wait till the reunion and see if you do redeem yourself. But if you come off anything like you came off on the show, I'm done with you. I mean, even when you first came on the show, a lot of people like, well, when Shemea first came on the show, I just knew that she was going to be good at what she does. And I didn't think that way. The first episode, I was like, this damn lady is a tryhard. She is corny as hell, but she's just still exaggerating. And then she told that poo-poo-poo-poo-doop story about how she got Gerald because she took a dump in his house. I was like, you sound bad. I don't like that. That's disgusting, in my opinion. I don't want to hear about your doodle tail. I don't. And that's going to be the end of this Piping Hot Tea. Let's just say I'm disappointed in Shemea, Tiny, and Kandi, but maybe, just maybe in a way, they may be falling in line to come out to be what they are, because, Kat always has told us, in the words of Cat Williams, the truth is gonna come out, my niggas. Yes. So maybe it's just the truth coming out on these celebrities. What do you say? The God is God's people, and then it's the rest of them, or something like that. I wouldn't be surprised. And again, that's going to end this Piping Hot Tea. And to Treese, good luck, girl. Good luck. I don't know. I mean, I don't know how much more you're gonna be able to take, sis. Because you came on one season, the season before last, when you came on, living in a different spot, sleeping in different rooms, which I don't mind so much as a married couple, but that's not traditional. And come on in, come on in. Like, comment, subscribe to my channel. Hit the notification bell button. You will be notified when I upload a video. Share the video. Share the video. Why? Because sharing is indeed caring. And as I do, when I close, I'm going to chuck them up. Deuces.